Hey, soldiers, you are not going to believe who put up the guarantee for Sam Bankman Fried's bail. Okay? Look, for all of you who have been saying, hey, Sam Bankman Fried, this thing goes deeper. There's something going on here. They're not telling us. They're not revealing some of this information. He's connected. Listen, I've always said that I believe that FTX and its downfall were engineered in order to help shake faith in crypto. I'll also say that we just did the video on this. You can go back and watch the previous video that we did talking about how the United States government currently, the Biden administration, has a full court press against crypto. They're trying to unbank crypto. So go back and I'll tag that later on in this video. This thing is well coordinated. You're not going to believe who guaranteed this bail. Now, let's just get into it. The previously sealed names of two people who co-signed Sam Bankman Fried's $250 million bail package have now been publicly released. So you remember, they were fighting that, trying to keep those people anonymous. Sam Bankman Fried's and his attorneys were actually saying that the people feared for their lives. And if it was revealed who put up the guarantee for this bail, the guarantors were identified in the unredacted bonds as Andreas Papke, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He is a Stanford research scientist. Now, look, guys, we're talking about a $250 million bail package. And a Stanford research scientist, along with another guy I'm going to mention in a second, was able to guarantee that? How is that possible? Now, I don't work in the bail bonds industry, but I doubt if I could go to guarantee someone's $250 million bail with the socioeconomic level that I'm at. Okay. The other guy is Larry Kramer. He's the former dean of Stanford Law School. Now, look, both of these individuals have a history at Stanford. Larry Kramer is actually the former dean of the law school, the same law school where Joseph Bankman and I was about to call her Louise Friedman for some strange reason, Barbara Friedman. Joseph Bankman and Barbara Friedman were law students at that Stanford Law School. So they know these people. But here's my question. How in the hell did they get that kind of money? Does Stanford really pay that well that you have the financial wherewithal to guarantee a bail of $250 million? Maybe. I doubt it. Now, here's the question that I gotta ask. And this is a question, all right? This is the musings of Tyrone Keys and probably some of the other soldiers out there in the Soldiers of Finance community. Hit subscribe, by the way, if you haven't already. Enlist in this army. The question is, since they had this obvious relationship, you didn't just get two random guys from the same school that the parents taught at. You didn't just get two random guys to stand up and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go down there to that bail bondsman and I'm going to guarantee old Sammy's bail just for the hell of it. No, these guys have a relationship with the mother and father. They worked with them. Does it go deeper? Did they have an interest in FTX? What type of money did they need to put up, if any, on this guarantee? Both Bankman Fried's parents were teaching at the school until recently. Kramer has publicly spoken about the Bankman Frieds, described by New York Times as a family friend. I had a friend who said, you don't want to be seen with them, said Larry Kramer, a former dean of the law school and a close friend of the Bankman Fried family. I don't see how this doesn't bankrupt them. The identities of the guarantors were released on Wednesday after Judge Lewis Kaplan ruled in favor of an application from various media organizations, including Bloomberg, objecting to the information being kept secret. Hell yeah. Listen, if a buddy of mine gets picked up on, some charge and they slap a bail on him, and I go up to the courthouse and guarantee that bail, it's public record, buddy boy. And that doesn't change just because you are friends of Sam Bankman Fried. So I'm glad to see that the judge made the right move in this case and didn't play into the hands of the entitled Bankman Fried family. This leaves us with a simple question. How the did these Stanford faculty members get so rich as to guarantee the size of that bail? Under the terms of the bail package, which prosecutors said was one of the largest pretrial bonds in U.S. history, the guarantors were to be, quote, of considerable means, unquote, and one of them couldn't be a relative. Now, sure, considerable means is subjective. But when you're talking about considerable means in relation to $250 million, I would imagine that you've got to be making more than $200,000 a year, which let's just double that. Let's say $400,000 a year. If they're making that, they're still a long way away from having the financial wherewithal to guarantee $250 million worth of anything. It turns out, according to Bloomberg reporting, that Kramer and Papke had signed on as sureties for separate bonds of $500,000 and $200,000 respectively. Okay, so they are on the hook for a hell of a lot less than the $250 million. Look, the house doesn't approach $250 million. Let's say the mother and the father each put up, $500,000. You're not coming anywhere even close to what that bond is. So I'm not sure how this is structured, but it seems really creepy to me. And they fought too damned hard to obscure the identities of these people. And look, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so Kramer put up the $500,000 surety, and Papke put up $200,000. But if Sam Bankman Fried wanted to cut his hair, lose some weight, start eating steaks, and just leave town, wouldn't that mean that the guarantors would be on the hook for $250 million? And I don't think they have anywhere near that. Okay. So how do you square that circle? I'm confused. Maybe somebody in the audience can explain it to me. But this seems mighty fishy to me, especially considering the fact that they tried to hide this thing. They really tried to hide this, fought to keep these names obscured. So we're going to be hearing more about Kramer and Papke and how they are able to swing this. Very interesting. I'm just putting this out here now because it's late breaking. But of course, we've done a lot of reporting on what's going on with Sam Bankman Fried and the whole FTX collapse. We're going to be doing a lot more. Sam Bankman Fried's girlfriend, Caroline Ellison, she may or may not be cooperating. Now, she's got a plea agreement, but there's a part of this whole debacle that she's actually not been cooperating with the federal government on. Will this jeopardize her plea agreement and land her in a prison cell for up to a century? Check out this report we did on the subject, guys. I'll talk to you soon.